Sir, in the car?
Joshua Muhammad.
Hi, what's your name?
Joshua Muhammad.
What are you here for? I don't hear you. This is the people of this. Oh, that was Mr. Muhammad. He said Joshua Muhammad. That was your client.
I heard Mountain.
Huh?
I heard Mountain.
Yeah, it was like, I couldn't understand. This is the people of the state of Michigan versus Joshua Muhammad. Case number 20 F62473. Mr. Muhammad is charged in count 1 with assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation. Count 2, motor vehicle, unlawful driving away. Count 3, assault with a dangerous weapon. And he's placed on notice that he is a habitual offender. Third, may I have your appearance, Ms. Franklin?
Kenyetta Franklin appearing on behalf of the people.
Thank you. Mr. Kenny, can we have your appearance?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Robert Kenny appeared on behalf of Mr. Muhammad.
All right. So, Mr. Kenny, he was just here, but I couldn't understand what he was saying, and he kept muting afterwards. Have you had contact with him?
No, well, I have had contact with him.
Did you have contact with him today?
No, I haven't had contact with him today.
All right. He was just here, but I removed him because I didn't know what he was saying. He didn't respond. The court is going to waive his presence for today's hearing. I'm sure he'll call back. Once he calls back, we'll get his number so that you can have contact information with him.
Thank you, Judge.
Do you have discovery?
I have the video and I have the investigators right up, but the actual statements and paper discovery, I do not have.
Ms. Franklin, can you please provide paper discovery to Mr. Kenny?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Kenny, you'd like to have this matter set for an in-person exam?
Yes.
How is Tuesday, June 29th at 1:30?
Judge, the 29th, I'm going to be in federal court.
What about 30th at 1:30?
Okay.
That works?
Yes, yes.
All right, we'll set this for an in-person exam to occur June 30th at 1:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
You too. All right, you all ready on Craparoda and Harris?
Yes.
This is the people of the state of Michigan versus Connor Craparoda and Andrew Harris. Case number 20 F59411. Both defendants are charged in count 1. I'm sorry, hold on one second.
Yeah, my thing.
Mr. Muhammad, can you hear us?
Hello, how you doing? This is Joshua Muhammad.
Yes, Mr. Muhammad, can I get your phone number, please?
313-469-4015.
Your next court date is going to be June 30th at 1:30 p.m. and you'll come to 36th District Court on that day and time.
You said I gotta come.
Yes, you got to come to 36 on June 30th at 1:30, but your lawyer is in the courtroom right now and he'll call you once he's finished, okay?
All right, so I get back on Zoom. Why I'm coming back to court though?
talk to your lawyer about that, sir. I'm sorry. We're back on the record in the matter of Connor Craparotta and Andrew Harris. Both defendants are charged in count 1 with homicide, murder, second degree. They're charged in counts 2 and 3 with assault with intent to murder. They're both charged in count 4 with weapons carrying concealed, and in count 5 with weapons, dangerous weapon carrying with unlawful intent. Mr. Harris is charged in count 6 with weapons, firearms, possession by felon, and both defendants are charged in count 7, 8, and 9 with weapons, felony, firearm. Mr. Harris is charged in count 10 with weapons, felony, firearm, and Mr. Craparotta and Harris are charged in count 11 with weapons, felony, firearm. Mr. Harris is placed on notice that he is a habitual offender. Second, may I have your appearance, please?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jonathan Bostema on behalf of the people, P75242.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Robert Kenny, appearing on behalf of Mr. Craparotta. Motion to suppress.
All right, thank you. Mr. Craparotta, state your name, sir.
Jonathan Craparotta.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. David Cripps, P34972, appearing on behalf of my client, Mr. Andrew Harris, who is here in court.
All right, Mr. Harris, can you please state your name, sir?
Harris.
Good afternoon, Mr. Harris. All right, so today is the date and time set for preliminary examination. The court will order a witness is sequestered. Are there any other preliminary matters that need to be addressed?
Judge, no, but we do have some stipulations I would like to put on the record before we call the first witness.
All right,
I've spoken to both defense counsels, and I believe we all agree to stipulate to the exhibits that will be admitted today.
okay,
The first of which is Mark Pupil's exhibit number 1. This is the Office of the Wayne County Medical Examiner's post-mortem report for one Tony Chanel Benson.
So stipulated on behalf of Mr. Craparotta.
all right,
Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Harris, I have received a copy of the autopsy report. I have no objection to its admission for preliminary examination purposes.
thank you.
And with that autopsy report, there's also an identification in that packet, and I believe that's going to be stipulated too as well. As part of this one.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the court will receive People's Exhibit number 1, which is the medical examiner's report, as well as the identification form. You'd like to publish the findings of the report?
If the court will allow.
Yes,
Reading from the People's Exhibit number 1, certified that Dr. Lee Lavity performed a postmortem examination on the body of one Tony Chanel Benson at the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office on August 8th, 2020. ME case number 20-12008. Reading from the summary and opinion. It is my opinion that the death was caused by a gunshot wound to the head. And then skipping the next paragraph, the manner of death is homicide.
all right, thank you. As to the identification.
Yeah, I believe that's stipulated too, but there was identification performed by one Nathaniel Benson, who was the father of the victim.
Okay. And that was conducted at the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office?
Correct, Judge. Dated the same, it's dated actually August 10th, and signed by the clerical staff, Investor Collins.
Thank you. Any other stipulations?
People's number 2, I believe is going to be stipulated too. It pertains to defendant Mr. Harris only. It's a prior certified conviction from the 29th Circuit Court, Clinton County, that shows that he was convicted of home invasion first degree violation of 750.11082. He was convicted on the date of, it looks like August 1st, 2016.
Is that an accurate stipulation?
Your Honor, the defense on behalf of Mr. Harris is prepared to not object to the admission of Exhibit 2, but that would be for the limited purpose of the felon in possession count.
All right, thank you. The court will receive People's number 2, which is the certified conviction dated August 1st, 2016, in regard to Mr. Harris.
Thank you.
Judge, the next 5 exhibits are CDs. As the court was apprised yesterday, there's surveillance video in this case. I've spoken with both defense counsels and gotten a list of the angles that they would also like admitted. I have each CD is a different angle of the surveillance video. This is surveillance video from 3433 Woodward Avenue in the city of Detroit. 3433 Woodward Avenue,
Thank you.
Detroit 120. It's from the date of August 8, 2020, in the early morning hours. But I have People's Exhibit 3, which is Channel 3. People's Exhibit 4, which is a CD, that's Channel 4. People's Exhibit 5 is a CD that contains Channel 10. People's Exhibit 6 is Channel 12, the same. People's Exhibit 7 is Channel 14. There's no objection, I would move for their admission.
All right. Mr. Kenny, are you stipulating to the admission of People's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cripps?
I am stipulating for exam purposes only, Judge.
All right. The court will receive People's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 video from 3433 Woodward.
And the last preliminary matter, as it pertains to the video, this is more of a housekeeping matter. It's usually much cleaner and easier to play the scene from my hard drive than it is from the CD. So if Mr. Cripps and Mr. King do not object, I would like to play the exact same thing that's on these CDs on my hard drive, so we don't have to sift through the skipping of CDs and wait 5 minutes for the CDs to load.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do it over Zoom? I guess I don't understand what you're saying when you say do it on the hard drive.
Well, when I have to plug in a CD to play the CD drive to play the CDs. It takes a while to load and they'll come to skipping, which is a problem, and especially when you have to play these things again and again. If I have them on my hard drive, which I do, it's a lot smoother as far as the playback is concerned. It's the same exact thing. I just don't want to do that without getting consent of the court and the defense attorneys. It's not that there's anything different that's going to be played. I just want to be upfront and.
I get it. All right. Do you have any problem with that, Mr. King?
No, I don't have any problem with that. I thought you were asking about your being able to view. Is that-
Yeah, but we'll be able to see it from his hard drive over Zoom because I'll allow him access to share.
Yeah.
I have no objection to that, but I would just say that my client's seated in a position that he can't see the screen. That just as at that time, he's in a position that he can't see the screen.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right.
you can see it. Same thing from Mr. Cardiola. He says he can't see it the way he is.
Okay, thank you. We'll allow them to be rotated so that they can see it.
Thank you.
Anything further, Mr. Foster?
No preliminary matters further from the people. And if there's something from the defense, the people would call our first witness, Ms. Kimberly Green.
All right.
Last thing, Judge, I forgot. Count number 2 has her last name is Breer instead of Bree. So just to put the court and the defense on notice that I will be changing that R to an N.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Green, please come and spell your name for the court reporter that's seated over here. Can you hear me? Spell your name for the court reporter. Ma'am, can you stand and raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you provide will be the truth? You're going to sit right in that chair. Please grab your microphone that's right beside you. Pick up the whole base. And we'll need you to speak loudly and clearly into the mic. Keep your mask on. So speak louder and loud and clear so that everyone in the room. Okay. Your witness.
Thank you. Ma'am, can you please state your name for the record?
Kim Green.
You gotta speak louder than that too.
Kim Green.
Thank you.
Ms. Green, I want to take you back to the date of August 8th, 2020, in the early morning hours of that day. Did you have the opportunity to be in the city of Detroit that early morning?
Yes.
And who were you with in the city of Detroit?
Deshaun Alexander.
Who was Deshaun Alexander to you?
He's an ex-boyfriend of mine.
Now, on that date, did you have an opportunity to go to a Detroit 129 University in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
And what brought you to that location, man?
We're getting something to eat.
And do you recall about what time you arrived at that location?
About two something maybe.
And what did you do when you were inside of it?
Order food and sit down.
Where did you sit?
By a window seat.
And where was the window facing, if you recall?
In front of the restaurant.
And with that, if you know what street that with the front of the restaurant was facing?
No.
Are you from the city of Detroit or from somewhere else?
No, I'm from Minnesota, but I live in Lansing.
And you said that you sat down next to a window. Who was sitting with you?
Deshaun Alexander.
And was he sitting across from you or next side by side?
Side by side.
And you said it was about 2 a.m. Fair enough to say that it was dark outside at this point?
Yes.
Now, you and I sat down a moment ago to talk about your previous statement, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we went over some video footage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I want to play you what has been admitted as People's Exhibit 3. This is channel 3 of the surveillance video that was admitted.
Judge May move so I can see.
If I may share my screen, Your Honor.
You may. I've already explained it, yeah.
Thank
you. This is, you said, People's 3?
Correct. And the one tricky thing about this, Judge, is there's actually audio. And I fear that the audio may have some playback issues.
Did you, okay, so once you shared, did it ask you if you wanted to share audio as well?
I can do that, but
Yeah.
even when I do that, because the computer's in here, I may have some playback issues. I'm gonna try to use my headphones to avoid that.
Okay.
But just to give the court some notice.
All right, thank you.
And going to the 17-minute and 34-second mark on this video. The 17-minute and 22 seconds. Now I want you to watch this video, and if you see anything or anyone you recognize, let me know, okay?
Okay.
Can you see it fine? Well, can't really see anything right now here. Hold on, Judge. Can you see the video on the TV screen in the courtroom, Ms. Green?
Yes.
And at the 17-minute and 22-second mark, I'm going to use play. Up to this point, did you see anyone or anything that you recognize from that?
Yeah, sat down at the table.
Judge, am I allowed to ask the witness to get up and kind of point out to where she may be sitting?
You can.
I didn't hear what you said.
She said she sat down at the table. Is that what you said, ma'am?
Yes, Alexander.
well, let me ask you this, Mr. Postman. Can she have, that might work.
Ms. Green, if I can guide you, follow me over to the TV.
What do you to keep your voice up since you can't take the microphone that far, I don't think. No, put it down, I don't think it'll travel that far.
As best you can, using this pointer, can you point to where you said you're seated in this video?
Right here.
And
I can't hear.
You gotta speak louder.
This is me, and that's Alexander.
and when you say Alexander, that's Deshaun Alexander?
Yes.
That's great, ma'am. You can have a seat. Thank you so much. Before I play further, at some point, while you're seated in that booth, is your attention drawn elsewhere?
I was on my phone, so I wasn't really paying attention at this point
Okay,
when he sat down.
sure. Not at this point, but at some point later, right? So you didn't just get to this restaurant and leave, correct?
Correct.
So at some point later, was your attention drawn to something else?
Yes.
And tell me about that.
We were just sitting there. I was running off my phone. Also talking to Deshaun Alexander. I noticed a guy in a red t-shirt constantly looking at Deshaun Alexander.
Now I'm gonna stop. The guy in the red t-shirt,
Mhm.
yes?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see him inside the restaurant or outside the restaurant?
Both
When you first noticed him, where was he?
inside.
Is this someone that you had seen before, or was this a stranger?
A stranger.
But you said you noticed him, and I just, if I'm paraphrasing correctly, you said you noticed him just looking or staring at Sean.
Objection has to wait.
She's already said it.
Yes.
I'm objecting this. She doesn't know what he's looking at. He's looking in the direction of, I have no objection to what looking at.
All right, so it's not a leading objection, it's a,
But the leading objection I had is that Mr. Postman had it staring. I never heard her say looking at.
all right, so
Staring
sustain,
can have a lot of connotation.
right, so sustain, clarify.
Just,
Mr.
I was simply asking the witness whether I was correct in saying that.
So the objection is sustained as to, his other point, not the point about the looking or the staring, but she can tell us what it looked like he was doing.
What did it look like he was doing?
Looking at Deshaun Alexander.
And that was from your own perception, your own eyes.
Yes, because I told Deshaun Alexander that he was looking at him.
I'm gonna ask you this too, ma'am, at this point, on this day, were you carrying the weapon?
Yes,
What kind of weapon?
it was a gun
And where was the gun?
in my purse.
At this particular time, while you're in the Coney Island, where was the gun?
In my purse.
And did you have a CPL for this gun at the time?
Not for that gun, no.
Did you have a CPL in general?
Yes,
Was Mr. Alexander aware that you had that gun?
Objection. That question can be answered by somebody asking for somebody else's.
All right, sustain.
Did you tell Mr. Alexander that you had that gun?
yes.
I'm gonna hit play further. Now, you said that you noticed somebody staring at Mr. Alexander. You said you noticed somebody looking in at Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
When this happens in the video, please stop, okay?
Okay. When the person's looking at him?
If you can tell,
Okay.
okay? If not, I'll stop it at some other point and ask you some further questions, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. have a cardiac miracle. Can I get a large one?
Damn, I had some wound right here. Yeah. There we go. All I had was some motherfucking
Carry out for Nisha.
I heard you say stop, is that correct? Is it yes?
Yes,
And why did you say stop?
'cause that's when they walk past the glass, coming towards the restaurant.
When you said they, but before, I think you just said someone in a red shirt.
Yeah.
Who is there?
It looked like two people walking past.
Now, did you actually see the two people walk past?
I noticed the one in the red t-shirt.
So we'll talk about the one in the red t-shirt. Is this the point where you noticed the one in the red t-shirt?
Yes,
And, and this is the point that you noticed, in looking at the area?
he looked directly at us.
What happened after that?
He came in and, it was a guy, I believe he had a ponytail at the time, having a conversation with the other guy, that was involved.
So we're gonna break that down. So you said, the person.
Objection to speculation that was involved.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I'm objecting to that was involved. Great.
I can't hear you.
Speculation as to whether anybody's involved here.
Was there anybody that what?
She said that was involved.
Uh-huh.
There's no basis for saying that anybody
Oh.
was involved.
Sit down.
So you said that the person that was looking at Mr. Alexander came into the
Restaurant, yes,
And it seems that you were saying that there was other people that were with that person, is that correct?
yes.
Describe those, how many other people are we talking?
I honestly don't know.
Did you notice anyone, is it more than one person that was with them?
Yes,
Did you notice, him talking to anyone inside of the restaurant?
yes.
Do you describe the person or persons you saw him talking?
It was a guy. He looked to be Caucasian, maybe. And it was a girl with braids going to the side of her face.
And describe the person in the red shirt as you recall,
As he walked by.
just as you recall seeing him that morning.
Like, the first time he came in, when I said that he looked at Alexander, it was like a smirk. And then when he walked past just now, he looked directly at us, like, just knew where we were sitting.
Objection. When somebody else knew what our mind.
All right. So Stan, ma'am, just tell us what it is that you observed and what you heard. You don't tell us what you think what was going on. You understand?
No, it's not a thought, I know. Like, he walked past the window looking directly at us.
Okay.
Cause they had already came in a few times prior already.
All right. You can tell us that you saw him looking at you all.
I saw him looking at us.
Okay.
And up until this point,
Mm-hmm.
did you see this group of people?
No.
have Any kind of, sorry, did you see this group of people have any kind of gun or weapon?
No.
At some point, do you notice somebody with a firearm other than yourself?
Yes.
And when does that occur?
I was on my phone and Deshaun Alexander, he just said,
Objection here, so
Well, I think we can, depending on what he says, we can decide whether that's a present sense impression or otherwise. I think at this point, she's going to say something that he's describing, he's viewing at the time, which would be a present sense impression.
Well, do you know what she's about to say? Or do you,
Well,
I mean, you talked with her.
Yes, we can't get the basis without her saying what she's going to say. If the court wants to allow it, they can allow it, but I need to have that set for the court before I can make my argument that it's a present sense impression.
All right, go ahead.
Ma'am, what did Mr. Alexander say to you?
Mr. Alexander said to me, dog is on tip with somebody in here. He has a mag.
Say that again?
He said, it's
Don't interpret it, just say it again.
He said, dog is on tip with somebody in here. He got a mag.
Okay.
Was he looking outside when he said that?
Yes.
Could you say that again?
He said, dog is on tip with somebody in here. He got a mag.
And did that cause you to do anything?
I looked up out the window.
I would ask that be admitted for present sense impression as well as effective listening.
One moment, Mark.
Sure.
I have no response.
All right, the court will allow the statement by Mr. Alexander to be admitted as a present sense impression.
What did you see when you looked out the window after you heard that?
Am I allowed to say his person's name or no? It's just,
No, so when you say, am I allowed to say the person's name? Is this something you know?
no,
How did you come to learn this person's name?
throughout the case, the news.
We're just gonna, if it's something that you learned after this day, okay? We won't name them, right? Because you didn't know them at the time.
Okay.
You can describe, if you see someone do something, you can describe what they look like,
Okay,
okay? And if you recognize them, you can say that, okay?
okay.
So do you see someone, you said, so you look outside after you have a conversation with Mr. Alexander, what do you see?
The guy that I mentioned, the Caucasian guy, holding a gun.
And is he holding the gun, with his right hand or left hand, you can tell?
I don't remember.
And where is, as you're looking at him outside, where is he in relation to where you see him?
He's like, just a little in front of us. Because he's like pacing back and forth. And then there's a guy with a ponytail out there talking to him.
Now, could you hear what was being said?
No, I couldn't hear what was being said.
But could you see that the guy with the ponytail out there was opening his mouth and the
Yes.
question of the Caucasian gentleman?
Yes.
Now, you said you saw a gun. Can you describe to the court what kind of gun you saw, if you recall?
It had an extended clip on it.
Now, do you know the difference between a a handgun and a long gun, like a shotgun or a rifle?
It was a handgun.
And you said it had an extended clip, was it?
Mm-hmm.
You have to
Yes.
guess? What do you see happen next, man?
So the guy with the ponytail is, they're out there having some sort of conversation, and, I'm paying attention now, I'm alert because I see a gun. And, I had my purse on my lap, and I opened my purse, and I put my gun on my lap, because I don't know what's about to happen. And, I see the guy in the red shirt coming to the restaurant.
Now, is this the same guy that you saw earlier in the red shirt? Or is
Yes.
this the guy? So you see the guy in the red shirt come in the restaurant, what do you see him do in the restaurant?
Just kind of like just stand there. And then I see the Caucasian guy come in and instantly just walk up to us, pointing the gun, saying, "Don't move, don't move."
So when you say walking up to us pointing the gun, where was the gun pointing?
At Deshaun Alexander,
And where were you seated when this gun was pointed?
by the glass, the window,
Where were you seated in relation to Sean at the time of the gun?
right next to him.
Now, what's going through your head at the time this happens?
Just shocked, scared, unexpected, just shocked.
And tell me what you see happen next.
So the Caucasian is pointing the gun at Deshaun, telling him, "Don't move, don't move."
And I'm gonna pause you. At any point, you said the Caucasian gentleman was pointing the gun at Sean.
Mhm.
At any point, did you feel the gun was pointed at you?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that.
Yeah,
Overruled. I don't think so.
well, I'll join in that objection anyway.
All right, thank you.
Tell me about when you saw the gun was pointed at you.
So when the Caucasian came in, he was just like, "Don't move, don't move."
Okay, and for the record, the witness is moving her right hand to the right and left, it's fully extended in front of her face.
Mhm.
All right, the record, sorry.
Okay, so, you had mentioned that there was something being said by the, Caucasian man?
Yes.
What was being said?
"Don't move, don't move."
At this point, is anyone else, did you or Mr. Alexander say anything back?
Alexander is shocked as well. He's just like, "All right, bro." "All right, bro."
And the gentleman in the red shirt that you said entered first,
Mhm.
did you hear anything come from his mouth up until this point?
No, I'm not sure.
That's fine, if you're not sure, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What happens after you hear, the white gentleman say, hands up, or, sorry,
"Don't move."
don't move?
Mhm.
Okay. After you heard him say, don't move,
Mhm.
what happened then?
Deshaun just like, "All right, bro. All right," and just instantly jumped in the table across from us.
And what happened after that?
Deshaun Alexander, he just kind of took cover.
What did you do?
I'm just like scooting in my seat. Honestly, I'm just like,
Why are you scooting?
because I'm scared. I don't know if I'm about to be shot or I don't know. I don't know, like, I don't know if I'm about, I don't know if I'm about to die or be shot. I don't know. So I'm scared, so I'm literally just scooting in lowering myself in the seat.
And, do you see what, Mr. Alexander does after he gets to the booth? You said there was a.
He pulled his gun out of his pocket.
Okay, now you say his gun, what is that, a different gun?
No, it's my gun.
Okay, so you said that you had your gun on at some point you took your gun out and you had it on your lap.
Yes.
Right? At what point does Mr. Alexander take possession of that gun?
He just, we sit next to each other. When he sees the Caucasian guy out there with the bag, Deshaun grabs my gun and puts it in his pocket.
So you said that you took the gun out of your purse and placed it on your lap.
Mm-hmm.
Was anything said to you that caused you to do that?
No.
So you did that on your own?
Yes.
So the, tell me what happens, what do you see happen when, you see Mr. Alexander with the gun, and he moves from your booth, seated area. What do you see happen?
So the shine just like, chill, bro, chill, you know, and I just instantly just heard shots being fired, and I just instantly got under the table.
Could you tell who was firing the shots?
Both, it just seemed like they were both just going off.
From your perspective, it seemed like there were multiple. When you say both, what do you mean?
It sounded like Deshaun Alexander and the Caucasian were both shooting.
Objection to, unless she saw who was shooting, she speculated. If she heard more than one shot, that's one thing, but she's specifying as to who you were shooting at that time.
I think she's describing that. I think she's saying, you should correct me if I'm wrong. Are you saying that you heard, it sounded like, so are you saying that you heard more than one weapon being fired?
Yes.
I don't have any objection to that, but who was shooting, that's what I'm objecting to, speculation.
At some point, did the shooting stop?
Yes.
What happens when the shooting stops?
Deshaun Alexander is telling me to come on, and I couldn't move. I was in shock, so I just stayed on the table. He's just like, come on, and I'm telling him to just basically go, because I couldn't move. I couldn't bring myself to physically get up and like run. So I just told him to go, and he's just basically saying, I'm like, you know, leaving you in here. And I'm like, just go, because I can't. And he runs in the back, and I hear the Caucasian guy in pain, his eye, and, you know, just in pain.
When you say I hear the Caucasian guy, is it something you see with your own eyes? The Caucasian guy?
When it got quiet, I had poked my head from under the table, and I did see him, like, trying to scoot out the door.
Okay, and you say him,
The Caucasian, yes.
And when you say scoot out the door, was he on the ground or?
Yes, and I heard, the guy in the red shirt tell him, come on, bro, get up.
And what, at some point, you attempt to leave the phone management?
Yes, because when I poked my head out, that's when I seen the young lady laying there, like on the wall.
You said the young lady laying there on the wall.
Not laying there, but like on the door, like, I don't know if the door was closed or she was on the door, but she was just like this, like slumped on the wall.
Is this the first time, this morning, or the restaurant you saw this young lady, or did you see her body?
No, did I see her that day?
Yeah.
That was my first time.
And did you recognize this person?
Yes.
Where did you recognize this person at?
Okay.
So you know, if you knew her name at the time, you could say her name.
Tony.
And who was Tony to you?
Tony was dating Alexander at one point.
So that would have been the gentleman you were seated with, right?
Yes.
And could you tell at this point when you saw Tony in the description, in the state that you described, could you tell whether
There's a lot of hunters, and I know it's probably difficult for you.
Right.
I'm
So,
sorry.
ma'am,
Yes or no?
yes, there has been a lot, and it wasn't really answered, so I kind of let it go on, but we need you to say yes or no, because is too hard for the court reporter to kind of say. Thank you. You said it.
I'm sorry, yes.
Sometimes people are nervous, they have those reactions in there, so either I will stop you, the judge will stop you, or the defense attorney will stop you, but just try to answer yes or no.
Okay.
You can, okay? So again, going back to this lady, you said you knew her as Tony,
Yes.
and you said in the state you saw her and she was kind of slumped on the ground, fair to say?
Yes.
Did it appear to you that she was injured?
She was dead.
Okay, and what makes you say that?
Because I could see the bullet, like the blood on her shirt.
You saw that before you left the restaurant?
Yes.
And then, who do you leave the restaurant with?
Alexander.
Can you tell what can you tell us when you leave the restaurant, can you tell us the handcuff?
Yes.
And, what does he do with it?
He told me he threw it.
Did you see him actually do it? Or that's just-
I was,
Yes or no? Did you see him?
no,
You've never seen that handgun again since that?
no.
I'm gonna play the rest of this video, Judge. There's about a 10-minute segment of a couple of the angles that I want to play. I'll just keep this witness here just in case we need a point of clarification. Obviously, I'm sure the defense has some questions for him.
All right, thank you.
Carry out for Trixie. Carry out for Nisha. I'm not sure if he's racist.
Damn, I paid for this. You just wanted to hear. I didn't want to get the fucking answer. Yeah, I'm not just racist.
I can help you again.
Right. In the back. Matter of fact, no, I'm in the back if you want to come to the church. Everybody, you all got food.
DoorDash for Anthony W. All right, who wants to make an order? Me.
It's not a point of clarification. I was thinking, so you said to me that you only saw Tony, person who was Tony only once that night, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, do you mean only once in total, or just,
No, I've seen her before, but not that night, no.
when you saw her deceased, was that the first time that you saw her in that restaurant that night?
Yes,
All right,
I saw her the entire time at the restaurant.
yeah, did you notice her
Do just
outside
about
or inside active at the restaurant?
inside. They were coming in and out.
All right,
That's
so
an objection today. He's asking about Tony.
Sustained.
She was coming in and out.
what was the objection?
Today, she's asking, you were asking about Tony, and no, it's not like she just said he is. She's still saying she.
No, she said she.
And was she with any?
Yes.
Who was she with?
The first time they came in, it was the Caucasian and the person in the red shirt.
And how could you tell they were together?
Cause it was like, they all just moved together. They went out together, and then Tony and the Caucasian came in together, cause she came in and grabbed him,
Who did she come in and grab?
the Caucasian.
You saw that with your own eyes?
Yes.
I'm gonna continue playing.
Carry out for
I stopped it at 27 minutes and 55 seconds.
Okay.
There's another angle I would like to play, and then, now I may stop it. And answer some questions. Both playing. Channel 10, which is people's 5. Judge, I have the video viewed at 22 minutes and 6 seconds on channel 10.
Okay, thank you.
Hit play.
Who wants to make an order? Me.
Let me, I'm gonna ask you this here while the video is paused. While you're watching it, ma'am, yes. If you notice the people you described as either there's a gentleman in a red shirt, and white guy,
Yeah.
Do you recognize either one of those that you saw that day in this video? Please stop me, and then we'll see what you talk. I'll ask you some questions, okay?
Okay.
All right. And if you see Tony, the person you described as Tony, if you see her as well,
Okay.
please let me know. Thank you.
Okay.
You see somebody you recognize in the video now?
Yeah, the Caucasian in the white shirt.
Do you see him in the picture now, or was it prior?
No, just a little before.
I'm gonna rewind it to 22 minutes and 0 seconds. I'm gonna hit play, and then when you see him, say stop. And I'll pause it so he's in the screen, hopefully, okay?
Okay.
Okay, where is, you said you told me to stop, and you see something.
Yes,
What do you see?
the Caucasian.
And where is the Caucasian standing in that video, or where is the Caucasian situated in that video?
Looks by the door,
And that's the same
the
gentleman?
entrance.
All right, is that fine, Judge, or do you want me to point it
No,
out?
no, I see.
That's the same person that you identified as the Caucasian man that came, employed on it, is that correct?
Yes.
You recognize anyone else? Let me know.
The guy with the ponytail was the one that was outside talking to him before he came in.
And what is the guy with the ponytail wearing in that screen right now?
It looks like something, I don't know if that's something black on top of his head or,
What color shirt is?
he's behind the guy with the white t-shirt with the blue and red cap.
Is that fine, Judge?
That's fine.
Carry out your day.
do you see something you recognize, or someone you recognize in that video?
Tony,
Where's Tony?
she has on the pink shirt.
Okay, I believe there's only one person with a pink shirt in there.
All right, the record shall reflect Tony is the picture.
Thank you, Judge.
I'd like the record to reflect that she came in by herself.
The video speaks for itself, I'm not sure. Ma'am, you told me to stop again. What did you see that you recognize?
Tony, the Caucasian, and the guy with the ponytail.
What did you see them do?
Walk out.
And this is at the 25-minute and 41-second mark. You need play. Stop again, ma'am. It's paused at 27 minutes and 11 seconds. What do you recognize in that video?
The Caucasian, the one in the red, and Tony.
Okay, and the Caucasian, what do you see him doing in the video?
Pointing the gun at Sean Alexander.
And you said the one in the red, who's that?
Who is that?
Yeah, where's the person? Is this the same person in the red that you saw outside the window?
Yes.
And where's the person? Because I don't think we've identified them in the video yet. Where is that person situated on the screen right now, if they're there?
Right by the door in the seat, right there.
Judge, can I just ask, it looks like there's only one person in red, and that's the record reflect.
Yes.
And you said, was that all that you recognized?
Tony as well.
Where's Tony?
Tony's holding the door.
Is that, okay, the door, is that the entryway there? to
Yes.
Inside the, okay. All right, Judge, I'm gonna hit play again. Give me 1 second to check review my notes.
Sure.
Judge, I have no further questions of this witness at this point.
All right, thank you. Cross-examination, Mr. King.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Green.
Good afternoon.
Ms. Green, you knew, what was Tony's last name? Do you know?
No, not off the top of my head, no.
Okay, did you know her prior to this death?
I've gotten into it with Tony a few times.
Okay, so you all work the best of friends.
Correct.
Would I be correct in saying that, she was a ex-girlfriend of Mr. Alexander?
Correct.
And you knew that?
Yes.
Okay. Would I be correct in saying that you may have gotten her fired from her job?
Correct.
Okay, and how did that happen?
Her and Deshaun Alexander was, she worked at a call center and she was collecting people's debit card numbers and texting them to Deshaun Alexander because she did it. She texted one time credit card numbers when I was with him and I saw them for myself. And I sent the numbers to her boss.
For what reason?
Cause there was a lot of malicious stuff going on.
What do you call malicious stuff?
Threatening me, saying she had niggas that'll shoot me, riding in my car, being disrespectful,
No.
inboxing me.
About the credit cards.
What was
What
malicious
was
about it?
what was going on with the credit cards?
They were scamming. They were using people's credit cards to buy things.
Stealing money?
Yes,
Okay. And then you got her fired?
yes.
Okay. Did you know who fired first?
What?
Who fired a weapon first? Do you know?
No.
You said that you had gotten the gun out of your purse
Mm-hmm.
and placed
Yes.
it on your lap?
Yes,
And I guess that means that Mr. Alexander got it
yes,
from your lap?
yes,
You remember making a statement?
yes,
And that statement was made on August the 9th?
yes,
Is that correct?
yes.
Okay. Do you remember indicating that Deshaun asked you if you had the gun with you?
Yes.
And then he reached in your purse and grabbed it out?
No, he didn't reach in my purse and grab it out.
Or do you remember saying?
No, I don't. I probably did.
Wait, can I finish?
Go ahead, let him ask the question.
I'm gonna get, do you want me to give you the entire statement or?
I read it.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity to read it this
Yes,
morning?
the whole thing.
This morning? I mean,
Yes,
today?
before, yes.
All right, the top of that page. And that is what page?
Which part?
What page is that for the record?
3 out of 5.
Okay. Right at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Start with the first sentence.
Deshaun asked,
No, I want you to read it out loud. I want you to read it to yourself.
read it out loud to myself.
No, he wants you to read it to yourself, just read it to yourself.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, do you remember telling the police?
Yes, if
That he took it out of your purse?
yes,
Well, actually, you never had your hand on it during that night, right?
what you mean?
Did you ever have your hand on that gun in the Coney Island that night?
I put it in my purse before we came in. Yeah, I did have
Well,
it.
you didn't have it in the Coney Island. You didn't have that gun
Mm-hmm.
in your hands in the Coney Island that night.
Are you asking if I shot someone?
No, I asked you about the gun itself. You said you put it in your purse before you came into the Coney Island.
Right, correct.
Okay, so if your statement is right, you never had that gun in your hand in the Coney Island.
Correct.
Did Deshaun Alexander alert you that Tony was there?
Yes,
Before that, you didn't know she was there?
no,
Did that make you take a look at her?
not initially, no.
No. Okay. When did you first see her?
I was on my phone throughout the whole restaurant thing.
So you didn't pay attention to Tony at all?
No, I paid attention when she came and grabbed the Caucasian and brought him outside. That's when I paid attention to Tony.
All right, did Tony ever look at you?
No,
Tony ever smirked at Mr. Alexander?
they had a mask. How would I know if it's smirking?
So you saw Tony with a mask?
Yes. When they first came in, yes.
No. While she was in the Coney Island, she had a mask.
I believe so, yes.
Did you ever see her without a mask on? in
Yes.
Coney Island?
Yes,
Yes, what?
she came in without a mask on.
When this was over, you and Mr. Alexander went back to your car, right?
Yes,
And got that in your car
yes,
and went directly to the police station.
no,
Called the police.
no,
Called 911.
no.
What did you do?
We went to a hotel room.
And you went to a hotel room in the city of Detroit.
No, in Battle Creek.
And how far is Battle Creek?
Is that fire?
Wait, okay, hold on. You're anticipating what he's saying, but the court reporter has to record everything that he says. So just wait until he's asked the question completely before you provide your answer, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
How far is Battle Creek from Detroit?
I have no idea.
How long did it take you to get up there?
I'm not sure.
You weren't thinking.
My adrenaline was going.
You live in Lansing, right?
Correct.
And you don't know where Battle Creek is.
I'm not from here.
The hotel room. Did you get that hotel room in Battle Creek in your name, or was that something that they showed Alexander did for you?
Judge, I'm gonna object to the relevance of the possible following question.
Credibility right now.
I'm sorry?
It's for credibility right now.
Hello. You can answer that question.
I planned a date night with Deshaun Alexander that night, so I booked that. This was all the plan to go have dinner and go to our room.
So you knew where that hotel in Battle Creek was when you booked it, right?
Correct.
And you're telling us that you from Minnesota, you didn't know that, right?
No,
Even though you booked
correct.
it. Okay. You told us that Tony was threatening you and going on.
Correct.
You told us that today, right?
Correct.
Okay. Can I approach you again, please? This is saying, for the record, this is page 5. So let's do right at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly right.
Correct.
So she never made any threats to you.
No, she has.
Are you lying to us?
No, it was a lot going on.
Did you say, were you asked, were there ever any fight threats made at you by Tony in the past? Did you ask that question?
I don't know.
Did you give this answer? You never had heated arguments. She didn't say anything to me that night either. Is that right?
Correct.
So that means she never did threaten you.
Judge, I would
That night, no.
object to the characterization of that you don't have heated arguments, somebody can threaten you without having a heated argument, I suppose.
I think the witness can answer the question. He asked you, did she ever threaten, did she?
Yes,
And the police asked you directly that, and you said no.
correct.
You went on to tell the police that the only thing she ever said to you was a comment about me getting her fired from her job.
Correct.
You even went on to say that you saw her at a party store, but nothing else ever happened after that.
Correct,
So all your descriptions in your statement are not correct.
correct.
I got nothing further to say.
All right, thank you. Cross-examination, Mr. Curtis.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can I have your complete name, please?
Kim Green,
You don't have a middle name, right?
Sharice,
And do you go by any other names?
Kim,
Any nicknames?
no,
As I understand your testimony, this was back in August, is that correct?
correct,
2020?
correct,
And you said that you had booked a room in Battle Creek, is that correct?
correct,
And that was actually a casino, is that correct?
correct,
The Firekeepers Casino?
correct,
And did you go there first before you came to Detroit?
no,
Okay, so if you booked a special night, as you say,
mhm.
to go to Battle Creek, what are you doing in Detroit?
Again, I had planned a date night. That room was booked before that night.
So you had no plans to go to Battle Creek for that night?
Wait, what?
You just said the room was booked.
The room was booked for that night. I had booked that prior to us, to that night, it was already booked ahead of time.
All right, so it wasn't available.
No, it was available.
I don't understand, I'm confused.
He's
Yeah.
confusing me.
No,
Like,
no, no, hold on. We're just trying to get what you're saying.
okay, so I had planned this date night days prior to us even deciding to go to Detroit to eat, wherever we were going to go to eat. The room was already booked and paid for. I had complimentary free stays, and I get them all, like every month, I get them. So all you do is call, pick what date you want the room to be booked for, and they book it over the phone. You don't have to go up there and do it, because it's a complimentary free stay.
All right, I understand all that.
That's what I was trying to
My
explain.
question to you is,
No. He's not trying to confuse you. What you said was confusing. So just, if you just listen to the question, perhaps, you'll be able to answer what's asked. Go ahead, Mr. Curtis.
if your special night was to be there in Battle Creek, and you had a room available, what are you doing in the city of Detroit then?
Again, I planned a date night, which we were going to dinner, and then we were going to our room.
Okay, so we understand all that. So you wanted a date night. You think that the date night was planned. Are you
Right.
saying your date night was in Detroit?
We were going to have dinner in Detroit.
So that's your,
It was 2 in the morning. What's open at the casino to eat at 2 in the morning?
most casinos I know stay open all night, but nonetheless, I'll go with you. You're saying because you believe that there was nothing available to eat at the casino, that you went to Detroit.
We never went to the casino.
All right, so
We went after the whole situation happened.
well, where did you leave from to go to earlier in the evening?
We went from Lansing to Detroit to eat.
Okay, so your plan was to go from Lansing to Detroit to eat, then all the way back,
Correct.
past Lansing to Battle Creek, to
To-
stay the night?
Yes, at the casino, yes.
And did you plan to go on to that particular Coney Island?
No,
As part of your date night?
no. No.
So when you left Lansing, who did you leave with?
Deshaun Alexander,
Just the two of you?
yes.
And what time was it you left?
Probably about 10 at night.
All right. And before you left Lansing, did you drink any alcohol?
No,
Smoke any weed?
Deshaun Alexander did, I don't smoke.
Did he do it in your presence?
Yes.
How was he smoking? Joints?
Hmm?
Smoking joints?
Yes,
How many did he smoke in front of you?
maybe one,
Was it in your car?
yes,
Who was driving?
me,
Now, you brought your gun with you, is that correct?
correct,
Why?
because I wanted to.
What were you gonna use it for?
I just brought it just because.
What did you anticipate you
Nothing.
Judge, I'm gonna object that it's been asked and answered at this point.
Not really, Judge. Yeah, she's giving me a little vague answer, so I'm just following her lead. Just because could mean a number of things.
I agree, overruled.
Because she wanted to use it.
All right, overruled.
Why was it the real reason you brought it on down?
Because I wanted to,
And you said you're a CPL holder,
yes,
but that gun wasn't registered. You were
correct.
correct what?
It was not registered at all,
So that CPL didn't even cover the gun.
correct.
So you illegally got the gun. Is that
Judge,
right?
I'm gonna ask, that's asking for a legal conclusion, and what's the relevance of that?
Did you think it was illegal?
Sustained.
Did you think it was illegal to have the gun not be registered?
Judge, I'm gonna object again because that's asking for a legal conclusion. That's not relevant.
Sustained.
Did you, was that gun fully loaded, ma'am?
I'm not sure.
What's your gun?
It was my father's, actually.
Well, did you get it from him that night?
He passed. I got it from his house.
How long ago before this night?
My father passed in
No,
2013.
how long ago did you get the gun?
I moved to Lansing in June of 2018, so probably a few months after I moved
So
there.
you had the gun a few months.
Right.
before this incident.
Correct.
All right, so I'm asking you again, did you load that gun?
No,
Wait a minute, I'm confused. Did you say you moved to Lansing in 2018?
correct,
So you had the gun a couple years before?
correct.
Okay.
All right, and you had it in your purse, is that correct?
That night, yes,
Yeah, you knew for sure you had the gun, right?
right,
Okay. And so on your special date night, you brought the gun with you, and as I understand it, you went from Lansing to Detroit, is that right?
correct.
And where did you go once you arrived in Detroit?
We went to a few different places. Originally, we were going to go to Southern Fire, I think it's called, but the police had it blocked. I guess something had happened, so we never got a chance to go in there. And then we went to, I don't know the name of the second place. By the time we got there, they had already cut off the kitchen, so we couldn't order food, so we just had a quick drink there, and we left. And then I just told them, like, let's just go to Coney Island, because we had been there before.
All right, so you had no special spot you're going, you're just driving around?
No, we were going to Southern Fire, that was where we were going.
After Southern Fire? You had no particular spot? You were just
No,
driving
we were
around.
just trying to find food.
And you said at one location you had drinks, is that right?
Correct.
What were you drinking?
I had a glass of wine,
How many glasses of wine?
just one.
And was Mr. Alexander drinking also?
I don't remember. I know I had a glass of wine. I'm not sure if he had a drink or not.
And was he smoking weed as you're driving around too? Right, when the place?
I don't remember.
You're sitting right next to the car.
But it was a lot going on that night. I don't know. I really
So
don't.
because there's a lot going on, you don't remember some of the details about
Not even smoking weed, no.
it. And as I understand, or your testimony here, eventually you make it to this Coney Island, is that right?
Correct.
And we see you sitting there in the Coney Island, is that right?
Correct.
And you said that Mr. Alexander was seated next to you at the Coney Island, is that right?
Correct.
And you said you had your purse with you, is that correct?
Correct.
Where was that purse located?
On my left.
And that gun was in the purse, is that right?
Correct.
Did you think about leaving the gun in the car or
Yes,
intentionally?
I actually told him that.
What'd
And
you
he
tell
told Deshaun Alexander
What'd you tell him?
that I wanted to leave the gun in the car. I asked him, should I leave the gun in the car? He said, no, bring it in, because it's Coney Island.
So he convinced you to bring the gun in?
Basically, yes.
Well, that's what you just told me.
Yeah, correct.
All right, so you're seated there with your purse, is that correct?
Correct.
Now, as I understand it, there comes a point in time where Deshaun Alexander asked you if you had that gun, if you're seated there with it on your left, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And what did you tell him?
That I had it.
All right. Now, do you remember what was going on at the point in time
No,
that Mr. Allen, you don't even know what I'm asking you. Do you know what was going on at the point in time that Sean Alexander asked you for that gun?
No,
And he not only asked you for the gun, but Deshaun reached into your purse and grabbed it out, is that correct?
no,
Now, I'm gonna go, I think this was shown to you, but I have to ask you these questions here. You made a statement to Sergeant Shannon Holmes, a homicide detective, is that correct?
correct.
Back on the date of August 9th, 2020. Might have been in the afternoon of August 9th, 2020, before 4:25 p.m.
Correct.
The next day, correct?
Mm-hmm, yes,
Now, you had no plan, you could go and just lie to the police, did you?
no,
No, you want to help them, right?
correct,
And you told them the truth.
correct.
You're not going to sit there and lie to a homicide officer, correct?
What I can remember, yes,
No, I'm not talking about what you remember, I'm talking about telling the truth.
correct,
You're an adult, you know what that means.
correct.
And, as you were talking, you saw this statement, this 5-page statement, correct?
Can you repeat that?
The 5-page statement, Mr. Kinney showed it to you earlier, across,
John?
the defense lawyer.
Oh, yes, correct,
He showed it to you earlier,
correct,
and you read it in the hallway before you testified today, right?
correct,
Okay, so you know what statement I'm asking for.
correct.
Okay, did you write that statement out?
No,
Oh,
I don't know, I don't remember.
Okay.
I'm showing you a 5-page document. Do you see your name on it, Ms. Green?
Correct,
Do you see the sergeant's name on it, Sergeant Jones?
correct,
Do you have to see your signature anywhere?
yes,
Bottom of page 1,
yes,
bottom of page 2,
yes,
bottom of page 3,
yes,
bottom of page 4,
yes,
bottom of page 5?
yes,
Okay. And was this in your writing?
no,
Is it the sergeant's writing?
correct,
So sergeant is asking you questions and you're giving honest answers, right?
correct,
And one of the questions that she clearly, well, one of the questions that she asked you is, at the point in time after you saw somebody with a gun in the Coney Island, she asked you, what did you do after that? You remember that question?
I read the statement,
Well, thank
yes,
you, but I didn't ask you that. You remember that question?
I don't remember a lot of the questions you asked me.
Let me see if I show you the page with your signature on page 5. Let's see if that refreshes your memory.
Okay,
Do you remember her asking you, what did you do after that?
yes,
Okay. And you said, Deshaun asked me if I had my gun with me. I told him yes. And Deshaun reached in my purse and grabbed it out and put it in his pocket.
mm-hmm,
Is that a yes?
yes,
All right, that's what you told her, right?
correct,
All right. And then not only that, she said, at the end, read the statement over, and if it's a truthful statement, write your name on the bottom page, right?
correct,
And you did it. You read it over, correct?
correct,
And you signed it then as a truthful document.
correct,
So the truth is, Deshaun reached in your purse, grabbed that gun, and stuck it in his pocket.
no,
But that's what you told the police. You just told me it was a truthful statement.
Judge, I'm objecting to
Can
the
I
argument
talk,
at this point.
It's called cross-examination, Judge.
Right, I don't see where it's argumentative, so overruled. Ma'am, you just answered a series of questions indicating that what you told the police was correct. You understand that?
okay. Again, there was a lot happened that night. I don't remember word for word what I said and none of that, okay? I have got into it with Tony times. I was not
Yeah,
trying to
that
make
wasn't, I didn't say anything about Tony.
but I'm saying, you guys are saying.
No, hold on.
Everything I
No,
said about
no.
Tony is.
Hold on, I said stop. You can't just talk. You cannot just talk. You don't get to just talk. You get to answer questions. That's what you get to do, Ms. Green. He's asking you.
Why are they both getting up? Now I'm getting anxiety.
All right, so you're gonna have a little more anxiety if you don't calm down, because you're gonna have the officers take you into the past. I just need you to calm down and realize and recognize that you are in a courtroom. There are certain rules that need to be abided by. and you don't get to just talk. I'm sorry, I understand that you have something that you want to say, but the lawyers have questions that they're gonna ask of you, and you just need to answer the question. If the prosecutor wants some clarity, he'll have an opportunity to ask you more questions so that you can say what you need to say. But at this stage, all we want you to do is answer the questions that the lawyers are asking of you. Do you understand that, Ms. Green?
But I can't answer if I don't necessarily remember, like,
If you
what
don't-
exactly happened that night.
All
I
right.
don't remember detail to detail what happened.
I
I
understand.
can only recall what I remember. I don't know, I don't remember
Okay.
every little detail that happened.
All right, so if you don't remember something, that's your answer. I don't remember. Okay? All right, go ahead.
Now, ma'am, you know you're here to tell the truth, right?
Correct,
You're not here to cover for Deshaun Alexander, you understand that? Because it seems like every time Mr. Kinney and I ask questions about Deshaun Alexander's involvement, you don't remember. So I'm asking you to tell the truth. You told Sergeant Jones that he reached in your purse and pulled that gun out. Is that right?
correct,
And you told Sergeant Jones that he put that gun in his pocket.
correct.
And at that point in time, did you say to him, "What are you gonna do with my gun?" Did you say that to him?
No,
Did you even care? Did you say anything to him about that when you saw another person with a gun in the Coney Island?
no,
You didn't tell him, "Don't shoot, then don't use it"?
no,
And then you saw Deshaun Alexander pull that gun out of his pocket, isn't that right?
I didn't see, I was under the table at that point. I didn't see nothing.
And isn't it true you saw him pull that gun out and start shooting wildly at other people in the Coney Island?
He wasn't shooting loudly.
Well, he was shooting calmly in the Coney Island, is that right?
He was shooting at the person that came in there pointing guns at me and him.
Well, thank you. We're at a point now, I understand you. You saw Deshaun Alexander shooting at the person
I
in the Coney
didn't.
Island. Isn't that what you just said? Ma'am,
Correct,
thank you. And then seeing that then you shut down, is that right, as you said?
correct,
If you didn't want to get shot, of course, right? Right?
correct.
And then Mr. Alexander didn't pull you out of there to safety at that point, did he?
Can you repeat that?
He didn't pull you out of the seat to safety, did he?
No,
No, he ran in the back of the restaurant,
I
right?
told him to.
He ran in the back of the
I
restaurant.
told him to.
Well, I haven't heard that, but he ran in the back of the restaurant, leaving you there, right?
Correct,
And at some point in time, when you think the coast is clear for you, you go to the back of the restaurant, is that right?
correct.
And when you get back there, did you say, "Give me my gun back," after seeing him shoot like that?
No,
Why not?
I'm in shock. I'm scared. I'm ready to go.
Oh, so
I'm
you're,
not thinking about a gun. I'm thinking about getting us out of there. I don't know there's 2 doors to that place. I don't know if somebody's back there waiting on us. I don't know. I'm ready to go.
that's what I thought. You're thinking about your escape out of there, right?
No, I'm thinking about my safety, getting us out of there.
Or did you leave there then?
Yes,
And then, were you with Mr. Deshaun Alexander?
yes,
And where did the two of you run together?
to my car.
All right, to the safety of your car.
Yes,
Okay, did you then say, "Give me my gun back"?
no,
Why not?
I was not thinking about that gun. I'm thinking about getting in my car and getting us out of there.
Okay.
I've never in my life been in a situation like that,
Okay.
okay? I'm scared.
Now, Mr. Kitty asked you earlier, if you had a cell phone, is that correct?
Yes,
All right. Did you get on that because of thinking about everybody's concern, or as you say, did you get on that phone and call 911 right then?
no.
Why not?
I was still processing what just happened.
Or, and what you were processing was out of concern that Mr. Alexander may have shot and killed somebody. That's what you're
No.
processing, isn't that right?
No,
But that's why you didn't call the police, you wanted to cover your tracks and his.
no,
I'll give you another reason why you didn't call the phone when you start driving away.
can you do that again?
Yeah, you said you didn't call when you got to the safety of your car, is that correct?
Correct,
You were driving, is that right?
correct.
Did you see the gun when you got in the car?
No,
Did you ask him where the gun is when you got in the car?
no,
And did you stay there or you drive right out of there?
we drove up out of there.
Okay, now Mr. Kinney asked you, did you drive to a police station?
No,
Well, why not? You just saw Mr. Alexander shooting away in the Coney Island.
again, I'm
You saw a
trying,
young lady and
Judge,
went on
Judge,
floor.
I'm gonna ask that, Mr. Cripps give the witness an opportunity to answer the question before he asks the
I
second
wasn't
question.
quite finished.
All right, yes, well, no, but then it would have been a
All right.
compound
Yeah,
question.
correction to compound.
Yes, so allow her an opportunity to answer that.
I'm sorry. You just saw Mr. Alexander shooting away in the Coney Island, right? Correct? Can you give me the answer so I can go to the next question?
can you repeat your
Yeah,
question?
you saw a young lady laying on the floor.
Correct,
You saw a young man screaming, laying, dragging himself on the floor.
correct,
And even after all that, knowing that, you saw Mr. Alexander shooting earlier, like you told us, correct?
repeat that?
You saw Mr. Alexander shooting his gun earlier in that Coney Island, correct?
I didn't, okay,
All right, let me ask you this question.
because I thought you were trying to confuse me, like,
She's trying to answer a question, and Mr. Cripps then interrupts her while she's trying to answer it. I just asked for her
I'm getting
opportunity
confused.
to answer the question.
I don't understand what's confusing.
Because it's like, he keeps asking me, it's like he's asking the same repetitive question just differently.
All right, so I don't think he's trying to confuse you. I think what he's trying to do is just get you to answer the question.
But I feel like he asked me that already.
Right, So-
So it's like you keep repeating the same things. I don't know, you're trying to see if I'm gonna change my answer. Again, I do not remember. I was scared, shocked, there's a lot going on. I'm trying to get up out of there. I'm not covering for anybody. I have a son to live for. I'm trying to get
this
out of
narrative.
there.
She's still doing this narrative. That's not answering the question. The
You're
question
correct.
was whether or not she saw Mr. Alexander shooting.
Sustain, and all of that will be stricken from the record. So he can ask you at different various points why you didn't do certain things. I think that because he's asking you at various points the same question, you think that he's asking you the same question over and over again. He's trying to make his record and establish, after you've done this, did you call police? After you've done this, did you call the police? And he's allowed to do that. So continue, Mr. Craig.
You told me you didn't drive to the police station.
Correct.
And when you were driving the car. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, and when you drove off, you didn't call the police when you got to a ways away from Coney Island, did you?
Correct.
And can you tell me why even then you didn't?
I was processing what happened. I don't know what more you want me to say to that, but I was processing what just happened.
All right, so you're thinking about what you just saw and heard.
I'm in shock.
When you say processing, what are you thinking about what you saw and heard?
I'm trying to process what just happened. That's my answer. I don't know.
All right.
What more you want.
It never logically came to you as an adult to call the police at any time, is that right?
No,
Am I right about that?
no, not at that moment, no.
We're not at the moment when you left the Coney Island, you just told me, not at the moment you're driving away from the Coney Island, correct?
Correct,
Then I assume, where did you go, on the freeway?
correct.
And where did you drive?
To the casino room.
So you're hightailing it out of Detroit at that point, is that correct?
No, we're just driving.
Okay. Driving away from Detroit,
Correct.
and any time during this long drive to Veracruz, did you ever call the police at all?
No,
You could have easily done that.
they could have too.
May I ask you about your actions right now, ma'am? Or after your own? You could have called the police, right?
Correct.
But you didn't want you or Mr. Alexander to get in trouble for this.
Objection.
No.
Asked and answered.
All right,
At this point.
Sustain, Mr. Chris, move on.
All right, so you, did you make any stops on the way to the casino?
No,
Got to the casino?
correct.
Where did you go once you got to the casino?
To the room,
What did you do in the room?
cry.
Call the police?
No,
Call anybody in the world?
no,
Just kept quiet.
I cried.
Did you discuss with Mr. Alexander how to just, keep out of harm's way in terms of what happened earlier?
Mm,
Did you discuss with him or be quiet about this?
No,
Did you tell him what, did you ask him where you're going?
no,
At this point in time, you don't even know where you're going?
No,
Did you ever find out where your gun is?
yes,
How'd you find that?
he told me he threw it.
You tell you're married to it?
No,
Throw it out the window when you drive into the casino?
no,
You didn't ask him, hey, where's the talking gun?
no,
Stand it concern you that there is a gun and may have killed somebody that he just tossed away?
I mean, it is, but I wasn't thinking about any of that. I'm still in shock trying to process what just happened. I'm crying.
In the process, you mean protecting you and Alexander?
No,
Wait, did you ever call the police at any time?
no.
How did the police come in contact?
Actually, he did call the police the next
I'm
morning.
glad you said that.
He
I'm asking
did.
about you right
No, I didn't call the police.
now. How did the police come into contact with you? You never told.
How did they come in contact with me?
As you, I heard that you didn't told me you made a statement the next day to us homicide.
They contacted Deshaun, they didn't contact me.
Well, does that mean it came to the casino?
No, it was aired on the news.
Oh, you heard, saw something on the news?
His brother had sent it to me and him,
All
said
right,
it was on the news.
okay. So how did you come into contact with the police?
Deshaun,
How did you come into contact with the police? Deshaun got arrested, is that what you're telling me?
no, Deshaun contacted the detective
And how do you know that?
because I was sitting right there when he called.
And then did you go to the police?
We went together.
Now, when you talked to the police, did they tell you that you were gonna be charged with, any shooting?
No,
As an aider and abetter in any way?
no,
They told you didn't make a statement, you could be in trouble?
no.
You sure about that?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, did you, before Sergeant Jones started asking you questions, did she tell you that if you don't make a statement, you could be charged?
I don't know, I don't recall that.
She told you you wouldn't be charged with something if you made this statement.
I don't recall them asking me anything about being charged with anything.
When you made the statement to Sergeant Shannon Jones, where was Deshaun Alexander?
He was with a different detective.
One minute, ma'am. Nothing further, Judge, thank you.
All right, thank you. Can you redirect Mr. Thomas?
There, a lot of questions about, the transfer of the gun between you and, Mr. Alexander by both defense counsel. So I just wanted to clarify, what, you're under oath right now, ma'am, okay? So, tell me, how was it that Mr. Alexander obtained that gun from inside the cargo on Coney Island that early morning?
So the gun was in my purse. I took the gun out of my purse and put it on my lap. Deshaun grabbed the gun and put it in his pocket. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, okay, so, you saw your statement, and the statement, clearly, after you read it, the defense counsel asked a question, your statement to police says something different.
Correct,
Now, what it says is not correct, that's fair to say.
correct.
Well, Your Honor, object to that leading question, because you said earlier it was correct.
All right, so
Let's
now she's
leave.
saying,
You asked me.
no, you don't, I don't know how many times I have to tell you, you don't get to just talk out loud. She has just now said that it wasn't correct, and that's her answer. You don't have any other questions?
I do have,
Go ahead.
if I can, I had one something that I had that. Judge, that's all.
All right, you're all set, Mr. Rankin. Any other witnesses on behalf of the people?
Judge, if you have one more civilian here today, can they escort Ms. Green out and then pick up my other witness?
Yes.
Thank you.
Your next witness, Mr. Paltrow.
Judge, people will call Mr. Darrell Passmore.
All right, Mr. Passmore, please provide the spelling of your name to the court clerk.
P-A-S-S-M-O-R-E. Darrell, P-A-R-R-Y-L.
Mr. Passmore, if you can please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm that the testimony you'll provide.
Yes.
You're gonna sit right in that chair, please. There is a microphone that is to the right, if you can pick the whole base of the microphone up. And we'll need you to speak loudly and clearly into the microphone. All right, your witness.
Thank you. Sir, can you please state your name for the record?
Darrell Passmore.
Mr. Passmore, I want to take you back to the date last year, August 8th, 2020, August 7th and August 8th, 2020. So the evening hours of August 7th to morning hours of August 8th. Okay? Were you employed? Were you working for someone during that time?
Yes.
And what capacity were you working?
I was a limo driver for Robinson, limo.
And were you driving a limo at that point?
Yes.
And did your job take you to the area of Detroit, one Coney Island on Woodward Street in the city of Detroit, would be 3433 Woodward?
Yes.
And how did you come to that place? What caused you to go there?
Sorry?
What caused you to arrive to that location?
I was instructed by my client, that's where he wanted to go.
Okay, and you said your client, were you transporting some people that day?
Yes.
And how many people in total? At that point, did you take? So, let me ask you this, we'll start early. At some point, did you pick up that client? You mentioned that instructed you to go to that location earlier that day.
Yes.
And about what time did you pick them up?
I believe it was 7 p.m.
Now, do you recall the person giving you a name? Did you have a conversation with them?
Yes.
Okay, what was the name that was given to you recall?
The name of the contract was Connor Kerr. Sure. I think that one was it.
Did you eventually physically see this person?
Yes.
Can you describe to me what they look like?
White male, early 20s.
And when did you first pick up this Mr. Connor?
Roughly 7 p.m.
Okay. And at the time you went to the 3433 Woodward, Detroit, on Coney Island, what time was it?
Roughly 2 a.m.
All right. And was Mr. Connor the only person that who was in at the time you arrived at Detroit, or were there other people?
Other people.
And who are these other people? Well, can you describe how many other people, please? How many other people?
2 females, 1 white, 1 black, and including Connor, 4 males. Connor, 2 African Americans, and well, I guess you look at the light skinned guy, you look at the Asian people.
Now, as you're driving the limo throughout this period of employment from 7 p.m. until 2 a.m., are you paying attention to what's going on in the back seat?
Well, yes,
Do you ever see any kind of weapon in the back seat?
yes.
And describe what you saw.
Maybe a couple hours into the run, I saw a handgun being answered.
And who was passing this handgun around?
The first person I saw with it, I don't know his name, it's a short African American, but they all was, it hit all of the guys' hands, all 4.
At different times you saw this handgun and all the guys.
Yes.
Can you describe this gun?
It looked to be semi-automatic. I believe it was a black handle, silverish color.
Did you see any other weapons or guns being passed around in the back of that limousine, sir?
No.
So it's to the point where you arrived at the Detroit one going out. You said you were instructed to go there. Who instructed you to go there? If you recall.
There was a conversation in the back, and there was a light-skinned male who trying to say, no, let's go
the government county.
And when you get there, do you see anyone get outside the gate?
Yes.
Who do you see get outside the gate?
Well, at one point, they were all out.
Okay. Do you see, after you park at the Detroit 128, is there anyone you see in that tank?
It was in the back of the limo.
Okay,
See it, yes.
and do you see anything happen to that? Do you see anything happen to that engine, or did it remain in the back of that limo?
When they were all out together, yes, they were still in the limo.
At some point, did it leave the limo, or stay in there until you,
Finally eventually took the gun out.
and it's wiping out?
Yes.
What do you see him do with that gun?
Once he got out of the car with it, it was in his hand.
Now, what's the, you said that, at some point, everybody, when you park the car, does everybody get out of the limo at that point? Or you just-
It took a few minutes.
Now, at any point, did you, hear, what was the general, did it appear that, the party was based off you being with them? Did it appear that they're angry and ready, were they shouting at each other and stuff at that point, or were they calm each other?
They were calm. They were just,
At some point, did that change?
yes.
What do you notice? How do you notice that changes?
There was quite a time, Connor seemed to be agitated.
And what behaviors or words, were expressed that made you think that he was agitated?
From Connor, I can't tell what he was seeing. He was outside of us. I'm looking at him through the passenger rear view mirror. I'm just watching.
And by watching him, you're coming to the opinion that he thought he was agitated?
Yes.
And what about his behavior made you think that he was agitated?
I see one of the guys trying to restrain him. Well, to be honest, get him back to the limo.
Which guy was trying to restrain him?
It was the shorter African American guy.
So we had, and I just want to make sure that we have this out, we can identify each person. So we have Connor, who's a white gentleman.
Yes.
We have a taller African American guy.
Yes.
We have a shorter African American guy.
Yes.
And then we have a lighter skinned African American.
Yes.
And then we also have two women that are in the car. We have a black woman and then we have a white woman. Is that correct?
Yes.
Judge, you also mentioned there was someone who looked Asian in the vehicle, too.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Asian, you said there was someone who looked Asian in the vehicle.
I think he just, and I'm sorry, I think he described the light skinned male as looking Asian to him. So I think that's the same person.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So you said you saw the shorter African American male try to restrain Connor?
Yes.
And what did you see that shorter African American male do?
It seemed like he had him like a bear hug, trying to walk him back to the limo. And he like broke free.
Have you seen Connor grab the gun? At this point, has Connor had to grab the gun from the backseat, or did he not?
Judge has to lead Your Honor, that form of that question.
It's his hand.
I don't think it's leading. I'm asking him. It's not a yes or no question.
What was your?
I'm asking him whether up until this point he had seen Connor grab the gun, or whether the gun was still in his back seat. I can rephrase it.
All right, well, rephrase it.
Where was the gun that he saw at this time?
I remember, I believe the gun was still in the car.
So but at some point you said you saw Connor take the gun.
Objection, Your Honor.
That's not,
Well, he just said, I believe the gun was in the car, now he's leading him into trying to say that Connor took the gun. I object to the form of that question.
All right. Sir, do you know where the gun was? Did you ever see Connor take the gun?
yes.
Okay.
When you saw Connor took the gun, okay, So was it before or after this restraining act, if you recall?
I believe it was after the short extraction. They were all out there, they was having a loud conversation, but they was more closer to the cognac, so I couldn't hear what they were saying. Connor did come back to the car and get the gun.
Did he say anything when he grabbed the gun?
No.
At any point, were you able to, so you said that there was some agitation. It was calm when you first got there and then back on the little key. Did you tell why it got that way? Did you observe anything that caused you to believe, okay, this is going proper?
I think I didn't much specific, because like I'm saying.
Did you hear anyone say anything about a conflict?
We couldn't hear you.
Conflict. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
He's asking for hearsay now.
No, you just asked, did you hear anything? Did you hear anyone say anything about a conflict? Yes or no?
Jen,
Conflict.
yes.
And who said that?
The taller African American.
And what did you hear the taller African American guy say?
Objection, hearsay.
And tell me how that's not hearsay.
Judge, would be, because of the way I've had to introduce the witnesses and the identification, the taller African American guy, I would like to, I believe will be identified as one of the defendants.
Objection, now, I really object to him saying that in
All
front
right,
of
all
the
right, all
witness,
right, all right.
Your Honor.
No.
That's
Wait.
totally inappropriate.
If I can finish talking.
Wait. Sir, sir, can you go into the hallway for a moment?
Yes.
Mr. Chris, you're interrupted.
Yes, Your Honor, he's trying to probe here in terms of a statement coming out of one of the African-American males. And then and when I'm objecting, because I'm objecting as to hearsay, because it's unknown declarant, and I don't think it fit an exception, when I'm doing that objection, then Mr. Postma, in front of this witness, who has not made a single identification in this courtroom, then says in front of this witness that he'll be able to show that one of the defendants was making that statement. I think that's totally inappropriate, Judge, because you're telling that witness and leading that witness into thinking that one of the men here in this courtroom made that statement, and that's not right.
Sir, your response.
I am not going to be asking this witness to perform any identification. I will not be asking him to perform any such identification. He's not an identifying witness. What I meant to say, and I should have asked to clear the court for this, and that's my mistake. What I was going to say is the identification testimony will be coming from the witness I believe we're going to read out. And if he had testified and identified the individual, based on your watching of the video, I think we can narrow down who the taller African American male was. So I wanted the court to take that statement from a party opponent under advisement, right? Because while the identification evidence hasn't come out yet, I would ask that the court listen to it, and if the identification doesn't happen, then the court can stricken it.
No, it doesn't go that way. It doesn't really work that way. That statement is not admissible until the person has been identified. And I don't know why you wouldn't ask him. Maybe he can't identify, but he can't tell us what someone who isn't the defendant is saying, or he can't tell us something that isn't accepted by the rules of evidence.
So with the court, if I identify this person through another witness, right? Would the court prefer I recall this witness?
You don't have to recall him.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so, all right, I guess that's what we'll do then.
All right, you can bring the witness back in. Sir, you remain under oath, okay? Mr. Postma, what's your next question?
Sir, I want to, going back to You said you heard something that it sounded like there was a conflict. We're not going to talk about exactly what was heard yet. But you see anyone, at some point you hear something that takes you hearing gunshots.
The answer, yes.
Okay, and where do you hear the gunshots coming from, if you can tell?
From in the area behind me, because I was from the Coney Island, because I was up further, so it was behind me, coming from the Coney Island.
Were you parked? Okay, so was the Coney Island behind you, sir?
Yes.
And how many gunshots in total did you hear?
Roughly 5 or 6, and that's when I was trying to get out of there.
When you say try to get out of there, did you at some point leave?
Yes,
And did you leave with an empty car, or did you leave with people inside you?
4 people total.
And who were those 4 people of the 6 people that you named? Not named, but identified by.
It was Connor. He was the taller African American guy. The light skinned. And there was the white people.
Were you able to see Connor? When you heard the gunshot, could you tell where was Connor in the car?
No.
Where was the taller African American man? Was he in the car?
The only person in the car was the white people.
And could you see at some point, when did you first notice Connor after you heard that?
When the taller African American guy and the light skinned guy was dragged, pulling him and putting him in the limo. They were carrying him to the limo.
And when you say carrying him, where were they carrying him from? Could you tell?
Behind me from the direction.
Now, could you tell, you said carrying Connor, now could you tell, based on your own observations, could you tell whether Connor was injured?
Most definitely.
And what makes you say that?
He was in white that day. Shirt was red.
And after they get, so at some point, these 3, the 2 men that are carrying Connor, and Connor gets inside, limousine, right?
Yes.
It's, where do you go after they get into the limousine?
They were screaming, telling me, go, 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 EMC.
And where do you go?
I got turned around, so I ended up at Harbor Emergency. EMC was behind me, they screaming and maxing about the other 2. I took off. And I had to turn around and came up to him. Emergency.
So when you arrive at Harper Hospital Emergency, who is in the back seat of the limousine?
The white female, the light skinned, big guy, the tall, dark skinned guy.
One second. When you saw the 2 gentlemen carry Connor back to the limousine, from that point, did you see that gun that you saw earlier in the day?
Yes.
Okay, where was the gun?
Connor's hand.
So as he was injured, you saw that gun in his hand?
Yes, I did.
There's no further question.
Cross-examination.
Thank you, Judge. You give me just a minute.
Sure.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pastor. fair to say that the limo is entertainment? Is there entertainment going on in that limo?
Yes.
Do you know what the celebration was about?
Birthday.
Okay. And was there drinking going on?
Yes.
Was there a lot of drinking going on?
Yes.
The gentleman that you say is Connor, was it his party, his birthday?
His name was on the contract, so he was in charge of it.
Okay, was he drinking?
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that he was drunk?
Yes.
Was there a time when there was four other females?
Yes.
Were those females in the limo?
Yes.
Were those females in the limo for entertainment? Or were they friends?
I don't know. They told me that.
No?
No, I don't.
What did you see?
I saw, they told me to go pick up 4 other people.
Okay, they picked up these four other people, but these four other people were not there for entertainment, they were part of the party.
Part of his party, yes.
And then, was any other females picked up?
No.
The white female. Did she seem to be in a relationship with anyone?
She seemed close to Connor.
Okay. Was there any of the other females that was close to any particular person?
Yes. It seemed that the other black female was with the taller guy.
What about the four females? They
They
got
were,
in the car,
they were sitting together. They didn't seem close to anyone.
were they partaking in the drinking?
Yes.
Now you say that when the gentleman Connor was getting aggressive, the gun was still in the car, in the limo.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And this shorter person was trying to push Connor to the limo.
Yes.
And Connor was resisting going back to the limo?
Yes.
I got nothing.
All right, thank you. Cross-examination,
Thank you.
Mr. Cripps.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Passport. Good afternoon. All right, so I just have a few questions. You're part of this limo service? I'm an employee. Are you an employee of a limo service? Yes. What's the name of the company? Lobbles. All right. And your assignment is to provide transportation, is that correct? No. Well, I thought you were driving. You said supervise, right? No, I said your role here is to provide transportation by the ground. Yes. All right. But there are certain rules I assume you have to follow, is that right? Yes, there are. Such as no alcohol in the vehicle? No, that's not true. So you can drink in a limo, yes. All right. So you can drive people from liquor store to liquor store and buy liquor? Yes. Oh, is there any policy regarding firearms in your vehicle? Not in the contract. I'm sorry? It's not nothing in the contract, says nothing about. Well, I'm not asking about the contract, but I'm asking in terms of, so you're okay with people having guns as you drive around, is that right? I'm okay with it, yes. I'm sorry? I guess, yes. In fact, you saw that gun being passed around and you didn't say anything to them, right? No, I didn't. You saw alcohol consumed to the point where at least one of the persons was heavily intoxicated, and you didn't say. No, I did not. I asked them to put it away. Okay, so you did say something.
Okay, yes, and I asked him to put the gun away, yes, I did.
Okay, you did, and did somebody put it away then?
No,
So did you say this ride's over with and done, or you
No.
keep riding?
no, I did not.
Now, after this occurred, you said you drove off? You told us that?
Yes, somebody was in the car shot.
Right.
I'm assuming they was shot. He was bloody. They was getting in the car. They was like screaming, go, go, go. I got him to the hospital.
Right.
Yes, I
That's what
did.
I'm asking. And then, did you stay there at the hospital?
Yes,
And then did you talk to anybody about what happened?
yes,
To the security or the police or anything?
yes,
We do know that you, that gun you talked about still was inside your
yes,
hospital, is that correct?
yes.
Thank you. That's it, Judge.
All right, thank you. Any redirect?
Nothing on behalf of the people at this point, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Passmore, for your excuse.
We'll log Mr. Passmore out, and then I'll be right back.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Are there any additional witnesses on behalf of the people?
Judge, we do have one witness on another day, and then also I would likely recall Mr. Passmore. I have a statement from Mr. Harris. If there's an issue with identification, I'll admit that. I also have DNA evidence that I could admit as well if there's any issues with identification. So at this point, depending on how things go, there's a bunch more evidence. I was told by Mr. Cripps that he may have two witnesses he would like to call as well. So I do have more evidence I need to admit. And we're not going to do it today.
All right, yeah, no, we had already come up with a date to come back with continued testimony, and that is going to occur on May 28th at 1:30, where the witness that is in, let's see, he's in the Ingham County Sheriff's Department, Mr. Alexander, will be brought over to 36 District Court so that we can continue with testimony. So this matter will be adjourned until May 28th at 1:30 p.m.
Judge, I would ask for some assistance here. The discovery I received is redacted, and including the police report. So I can't, it's not like I can locate witnesses and bring them to court because of that redacted.
Who are your witnesses, Mr. Chris?
David, Dedbukaj. He was inside the Coney Island and saw a shooting.
All right.
And Officer Frazier, Frasier, who interviewed that witness. That's
Officer Frazier and the individual that was inside of the Coney Island.
yes.
All right, Mr. Postman, can you assist with trying to provide either information as to where they are or subpoenaing those witnesses so that they're here on May 20th?
I spoke to Mr. Cripps earlier, and I told him I'd happily provide subpoenas to my officer to serve those witnesses. And I had requested he do this.
All right, thank you.
My concern is, Judge,
You said you requested he does the same?
I'm going to give him the subpoenas and tell him to serve them.
Okay.
You mean the officer in charge?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I can't serve them myself, so I.
No.
Oh, no,
It
no.
sounded like you were asking Mr. Chris, so that was the
Okay,
confusion.
I will take care of the witnesses
Thank you.
as best I can. The concern I have is the next day is the last day before I take a 6-week.
Right.
If we have like a 2.5-hour day, based off of how much we got done today, my concern would be there's a chance, depending on what evidence needs to be admitted, especially if that statement needs to be admitted, that we may not finish.
Okay.
So maybe we should have a day prior. to make sure that there's not a 6-week hiatus.
All right, just a second.
We still want to put the rest of the videos in.
Yeah. I'm checking them all.
Yeah.
So. Did you all say that you're not available on May 12th at 1:30? Did you say you're not available, Mr. Kenny?
No. What I said was I have one.
Can't hear you.
I have a murder. I don't know whether it's supposed to be an exam or not, but it's in Inkster at 10 a.m.
On May 12th?
Yes.
So do you think that you'll be able to make it here by 2?
I'm really trying to be here at 1 o'clock.
So is that a good day for you, Mr. Cripps?
I think it is, Judge. I have some exams here in this courthouse in the morning, including this court.
Mr. Postman,
It's a great day, Judge.
are we trying to get Mr. Alexander here on that day too?
Yeah, I would just ask what you want to be introduced. Like, we could do Mr. Alexander and maybe I can do the civilians, and if we have anything left over, move it to the 28th. Would that be okay?
Well, actually, wait, maybe I can give you, let's do it the 12th. Let's just do it the 12th and plan to do it the 12th and the 13th, just to finish.
Okay, the 13th, I'm in Oakland County
Oh.
for sure.
Okay. So. the 11 is a good. Just- What about the 11th? I'll just do you all before. 11th and the 12th.
You can't do the 11th, you
Okay. You can't?
I could do the 10th in the afternoon, but I'll be here on the 12th.
I have a homicide already on the 10th.
What's going on the 14th?
14th.
I can't do it.
Can't do it.
Oh, 14th. Oh, maybe we can do it at 1:30 on the 14th.
I can't do that.
No.
The 18th?
you want to be here on the 8th.
First, in the afternoon.
I can't do 21st in the afternoon. I think it might, the only other day I'm gonna be the 28th.
What about,
We got the 12th and the 28th.
how about, did you say that you're not available May 7th in the afternoon?
No, I won't be here.
Okay, so then we're just gonna leave it on the 12th and the 28th,
Thank you.
And what time on the 12th, Judge?
1:30.
Thank you.
So there has a writ, for, the witness, by the, approach to the court.
Amen.
I do need to change the date, however.
Oh, good. Can we give a copy of the transcript of today's proceeding?
I think that we'll maybe able to get a copy of the transcript prior to May 12th. Say that again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys, well, so, yep.
Any questions?
You may.
Going downstairs?
Yeah.
I'll take them.